We ready? Start. Madam, as you know, the judicial system consists of two parts, that is, the bar and the bench. Stop. The people in both the bar and the bench come from the same background, the legal background. Stop. Sometimes they are interchangeable, very often they are. Stop. But unfortunately, in this tussle which has been going on between these two wings, it is the public which suffers. We, the people who are mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution. Stop. We took forward to the judicial system as the guardian of the people's interests. Stop. Now, why this has happened, it is difficult for me to go into. Stop here. In this connection, I would like to mention one or two things. Stop. In the first place, I would like to mention that this kind of a tussle sends wrong signals to the lower levels and it creates a laxity in the judicial system at different levels. Stop. I would like to remind Madam Chairperson through you, the Honorable Law Minister, who is not here, that according to the figures given by his own ministry, there are more than 30 lakh cases pending in the different high courts and there are over 20,000 cases pending in the Supreme Court. Stop here. Now it is absolutely essential that some kind of an equilibrium, some kind of a harmony is restored in the system. Stop. I say this because judiciary is the cornerstone of our Constitution. Stop. Things move through the executive and also through the legislature. Stop. It is the legislature which makes the laws. Stop. Madam, the people are concerned over this matter. Stop. Rather, they are intrigued. Stop. Therefore, something has to be done. Stop. Of course, I do not expect much from the government as such. Stop. The executive is scam ridden. Stop. You can say it is scandal ridden. Stop. The second organ is the legislature. Stop. The legislators are the representatives of the people who are supposed to function on behalf of the people. Stop. But it is rather unfortunate. Stop. I read an article by one of the most distinguished journalists. Stop. The first sentence says that the politicians are the most hated persons, if not individuals, in the country. Stop. We should take note of it. Stop here. If there is degeneration in the executive, if the executive gets jammed because of the scandals, scams, etc., if there is a deterioration in the image of the legislature, all the more we look forward to the judiciary as the guardian, as the protector of our liberties and the country's interests. Stop. Para. In this house also there were objections for signing the Uruguay Road and WTO. Stop. Honorable Minister, this is a consequential arrangement. The countries who are parties to the World Trade Agreement have to implement it in their own countries. Stop. The prime opposer himself has said that there are laws existing in the other countries also. Stop. Madam, we have entered the international market and our bilateral markets or multilateral agreements with individual countries have gone and the World Trade Organization have come into being, and by this our trade also will improve. Stop. After the collapse of Soviet Russia, after the disintegration of Russia, on which Indian trade was very much dependent, we had to look for new avenues and new areas wherein we could push our own goods, and our producers also depend upon other countries for their requirements. Stop. So, India falling in line with other countries have rightly acceded to join WTO, and now we have to enact certain enactments to come on a par with other countries to have trade on equal large and equal opportunities. Stop. The Honorable Minister has already explained that this bill has come just to safeguard the interests of the local producers, small scale industries on which we are very much dependent and who will be affected if these laws are not enforced. Stop. Madam, the bill seeks to impose a countervailing duty on those goods which have been imported into our country and subsidized at the hands of the producing countries. Stop. If a producing country or the country which exports reduces its rates to lower than the normal value with subsidy or with assistance or with grants, to that extent that cost will be reduced, and when it comes to our country it may work out cheaper than our indigenous production, and it will be a very risky competition to the local industries. Stop. So the bill seeks to safeguard the interests of the local producers, local industries, and whatever subsidy of grant or reduction that the exporting country has given, to that extent on those rates our government can levy countervailing duty to just bring it to the normal value, whereby it will not create an unhealthy competition with the indigenous industries. Stop. Similarly, the anti-dumping provision under section 9A is also on similar lines. Stop. If any exporting country reduces its cost of production and dumps into our country to control our market, then also the indigenous producer will be handicapped. Stop. So there are the provisions agreed under the WTO. Stop.